How's it going, everybody? Bryan Alvarez here on Wrestling Observer Live. We are here every day, Monday through Friday, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, Sunday, 3 Pacific, 6 Eastern, Saturday mornings with Jim Valley, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 Eastern, Sundays with Andrew Zarian. And hello, it is Wednesday here on the show, and you know what that means? We got a lot to talk about. Tonight is AW Dynamite, and it is the Go Home Dynamite. The Go Home Dynamite for this weekend's All In. There is a Collision show that is coming up tomorrow, which I think we have one match for. I think there's like a, what is it? Beast Mortos match? But anyway, we'll go the full lineup for tonight, tell you everything that's going on the show. We'll give you the preview for the pay-per-view this coming weekend and more. We've also got the NXT TV review. Did you guys watch NXT? What a nothing happening show that was. I thought it largely sucked. But in a kind of like a boring way. It was just like so boring. It wasn't like it was I've seen some bad NXT shows. This one was just boring leading into. It just felt like they got so much stuff going on this weekend that everybody is just they're doing their best to try to get everything out there, but just what can you do? We got a lot to get into. And Filthy Tom Lawler is joining us. I believe we have part 2 of the Filthies coming up here today. We did the Class B Awards on Monday's show. And today we will do, I guess, the Class A Awards. So we'll find out what Slammies are going to who here today. That should be a lot of fun. Also got notes, the 4th of July SmackDown ratings, which honestly, I mean, it was down quite a bit, but it was the 4th of July. I can't believe one person watched. So we'll tell you about that, plus an injury to Red Velvet. WWE has released somebody who's been around for over 15 years and more. Back in a moment with Filthy, Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful.
Happy birthday, dear Granny.
Happy birthday, Granny. Happy 95th birthday.
Thank you.
You got balloons behind you as well, Vinny. People can't really see them. No. They think it might just be your hump. But it's very festive
I
day
should not
today.
laugh at that. That's a horrible insult that you just gave.
Yeah,
me.
you laughed. It was a good one.
But it was funny.
Happy birthday!
Okay.
Happy birthday, Granny!
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, you guys, I don't even know what you just said. Okay, go.
Bye!
Bye, girls. Close the door, please. Rob Wanska, a top fan. That granny is one of a kind. If you cannot see that, you're blind. Whether she's knitting a quilt or giving Brian some guilt, she's the greatest old gal that you'll find.
Was that, who was that?
Producer
That was
Rob.
Rob.
Producer Rob?
Yeah.
Fine
like
job,
that.
Rob.
He has talent?
Thank you,
Great.
Rob.
Wow.
This is Mariah May versus Anna J. Anna has a problem. Her top seems to want to drop down. She has to keep pulling it up. Mariah pins Anna for the win. I think Anna just gave up due to the fact that her wardrobe was malfunctioned.
That's what happened?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, if they wore decent clothes, it'd be better. Those T-straps are ridiculous.
Those what?
T-straps. Don't you know what a T-strap is?
No, I do not know what a T-strap
I don't think
is.
there's a T-strap in Brian's closet, Granny.
No.
I don't know.
T-strap. Oh, a thong? Why don't you say a thong?
A what?
Never mind. You don't know what a thong is?
No.
Why are we having this conversation?
What part of the body is it on?
Does it go on the
woman.
top or the bottom?
On your
Butt?
butt. Yep.
Okay.
Granny had to be very careful. So it's a thong.
Why are we having this conversation?
According to the Old Testament of the Bible, who is the father of both Isaac and Ishmael?
Job.
Abraham.
Wrong.
Oh, really?
Abraham.
I just...
Did you say that?
Yes, he
I'm so-
did.
Yeah, I
Oh, okay. You're right.
Yeah.
I just didn't hear you.
Well, Granny, I hope you had a happy birthday today.
I had to.
Hey, we got a special present for you. You are officially being inducted, yes, into the Hall of Awesome.
It's about time.
Yes. You know what that is,
Oh,
Granny?
Wait a minute. I want everybody to see this. How can I show it?
Clearly, Granny is really excited about being inducted into the Hall of Awesome. She's busy showing off her trophy.
Is that an old gray mare trophy?
It's got a horse on it for some reason. Back in the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Filthy Tom Lawler is joining us here today. A very, very busy week. And we've got all in this weekend. We got Dynamite coming up tonight. We had a Tony Khan media call yesterday, which we got to talk about here in a moment. He was head-to-head with his show. But man, did he say something funny. So we got Dynamite tonight, Moxley, Claudio, and the Young Bucks versus Hangman, Ospreay, Shibata, and Hobbs, which sounds awesome. We got a match for the number 2 spot in the Women's Casino Gauntlet, Tekla, Ty Mello, Queen Aminata, and Megan Bayne. We got Samoa Joe and Wheeler Yuta. We got Mercedes and Tony Storm face-to-face, and we have MJF and Mark Briscoe having a talkie talk. That's coming up tonight. And that, of course, leads to Saturday, Moxley and Hangman, Texas Death Match for the title, Tony Storm and Mercedes in the AEW Women's title match, Okada and Kenny Omega in a winner-take-all match for the unified title, Hurt Syndicate versus Jet Speed and Christian and Nick Wayne for the tag team titles, Adam Cole versus Kyle Fletcher for the TNT titles, Swerve and Ospreay versus the Young Bucks with the EVP titles, and Strickland and Ospreay being unable to challenge for the title for a full year if they lose. Men's Casino Gauntlet and Women's Casino Gauntlet. That's a lot of stuff, Tom.
Yeah. Now, Brian, I've listened to you and Dave talk a little bit about the possibilities coming out of this Swerve, Strickland, and Ospreay match against the Young Bucks. And I think, there's a very easy way to go about this. And that is, like you said, I think that they should lose to the Young Bucks. I think they should not be able to challenge for a year. Because,
100%.
As we've heard multiple times, the idea behind this unified title is to get it up to the level of a second world title. So you could easily shift from whoever that is, Okada, my guess is Omega, down the road to perhaps a feud between Ospreay and Swerve over that very belt, and then build to a match, against the other champion as well. So I think that's a great idea to do, and I think there's still a ton of possibilities coming out of that where you elevate that unified title because those guys can't challenge for the rightful quote-unquote title. And it seems like they've been kind of trying to do that ever since Punk was around, if you remember back in the day.
Well, yeah, you could do that, but my idea was slightly different, and that is you got 85 awesome tag teams in AEW, most of which are doing nothing right now. And I think that if they won the tag titles from the Hurt Syndicate, dude, you could probably go 2 years with them as tag team champions, but really you only have to go about... they're not going to win the tag titles in July, so if they won them in September, October, you'd have to go from October through May, which you could easily do. There's so many teams to do an October through May run as tag team champions, and then at that point, they're going to start the Owen, and they both enter the Owen, and, it's like paint by the numbers, but, they could end up in the finals of the Owen. Two men who couldn't challenge for a year are in the finals of the Owen. One of them is going to win and get a title shot at Wembley. So that's what I'd do, but that's just me.
You could do both.
You could do both. That is true.
You could do both. You could, hey, how about this idea, right? They haven't done a big tag title or tag tournament yet. Why not a Continental Classic with the tag teams, and you have Ospreay and Swerve end up coming out of that winning it.
Yeah, everyone seems confused here. If Ospreay and Swerve win, they don't become EVPs. The EVP title is on the line in the sense that if the Bucks lose, they're no longer EVPs. But they made it very clear in a promo that Swerve doesn't trust Ospreay with that power. At which point Ospreay said, well, I mean, he's not wrong. So yesterday, to promote this show, Tony Khan did a media call, and I was dying during this media call because if you'll recall, I don't know, 3-4 months ago, there was an interview with Nick Khan, and which, by the way, do you remember when Nick Khan and Tony Khan, their last names were spelled differently, Tom?
Are they now spelled the same?
They're the same. And allegedly they've always been spelled the same. And I think this is the Mandela effect because I absolutely 100% remember these two names being spelled differently. And
as do I.
I know. And, you know, I somebody in WWE yesterday was like, dude, you're not wrong. I know they were spelled different. Nope. Apparently they've always been the same. Now, somebody did go back. One of our readers did go back through like the Google machine or whatever that thing is, and there are some news articles from around the time that Nick Khan was hired where his name was spelled differently, but it was weird because like it would be spelled wrong in the headline but right in the body of the article or vice versa. It's just weird, but yeah. Now, so anyway, this Nick Khan bloke, remember he did that interview and he's like, we don't bench our talent. And then, like, everyone who loves AEW got really angry, and it's like, well, let's find out who we can find that they have benched. And then, you know, we've had the argument for weeks about what the term benched even means, and, you know, nobody gets benched and this and that. I swear to God, Tony Khan yesterday, when asked about Britt Baker, he said, we got a lot of talent on the bench if we need it. I was dying, absolutely dying. He just flat out said, yep, we got a lot of people benched. So anyway, he was asked about Britt Baker.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, Tom.
Do I need to get into this?
No. He was asked about Britt Baker.
Because being benched and being on the bench are not the same things.
He was asked about, you're on the bench, dude.
They are not the same thing.
Listen.
The terms are not congruent.
The point is, there are people on the bench. Literally, it says, on the bench. We have talent on our bench, okay? There are benched talent. Look at you. Look at you. First off, you're shrinking. You look like mini-me.
Because I'm embarrassed by your inability to understand.
Get out of here. Is this going to be about rock,
language.
paper, scissors next or whatever that thing was?
Oh, my God.
What was it last time?
Flip a coin.
Oh, yeah, flipping a coin. Shut up, Dom. I don't need you. Anyway,
yes, asked, you do, to explain how to flip a coin.
He's asked, where's Britt Baker? And he said there'd been, you know, the rumors about she'd asked for a release to go to WWE. He said he had never had a conversation about her leaving AEW. He likes her a lot. He launched into a sports analogy about only being able to use so many players as starters. They've been running a tight, focused show with a focused crew. They have a lot of talent on the bench if they need it, which applies to both the men and the women. And that's all he said. So, there you go. He said the Continental and International titles will not be retired, and the new unified champion might carry around all 3 belts. Because, of course. He also verified the Continental Classic will be back, but did not say what the winner will get. He noted that there have been a lot of injuries. Queen Aminata was, quote, called up to replace Jamie Hayter, who has been injured, and she will be out of action longer than expected. Red Velvet was injured during her CMLL match last month. While she is expected to push through, she will be unable to defend the title, and so there will be a new interim champion crowned this Friday. So they're not stripping her. We're adding another belt because she's injured. And then he talked about Mercedes Moné and the questions about her creative control or lack thereof. And he said he is the only one in AEW with creative control. Said he took control back heading into 2020 and again in 2025, which has resulted in a better product. Wow. We'll talk more about this after the break. Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. What was up with this week? Everyone thinking Monday was Tuesday.
Well, that was just
Everyone?
you, sir.
Yeah, well, I mean, when it happened, it was like I got all these people that were messaging me going, my God, I thought it was Tuesday too today. It was like something happened with like the moon or something, and it caused everybody to think that Monday was Tuesday. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like, God, am I losing it?
Yes.
Have you ever lost something and gave up all hope before finding it in an obvious place?
Yeah, my mind. I went to go make her the quesadilla, and I opened up the pantry, and there's no tortillas. Looked down on the ground, and there's the package that they used to be in, but there's no tortillas. So I call Hanale over, and she says, well, I didn't know how to close the bag.
Uh-oh.
So I put them all in a box of light bulbs. I said, why did you put them in a box with light bulbs? Swear to God, she goes, if that box is good enough for light bulbs, it's good enough for tortillas. And I said, no, that's not worse. I open the box, these tortillas are hard as a rock.
She is so your daughter.
Crumbling to dust.
It's insane.
God.
I lost my wallet at the Alamo Dome. The next day, I got a call from an usher that he found it. When I met up with him, everything was still in it. He refused to accept any money from me.
Wow.
Wow. I once lost my wallet, El Segundo.
Lantian says Big Dave's sanity.
Wow.
Well, I mean, he found it then. It's right there. It was never lost.
99% of the time, no matter where I park, I always know exactly where it is. But there's always that 1% of the time where is my car?
Dude.
And it's like in a bizarre place. Like, what was going on? All right, Granny, what do we got?
We need to buy you a machine that you speak into, and it converts your voice into text.
Oh, my God.
So you don't have to write it down anymore.
Absolutely not.
And then I think even better, we put that text into a text-to-voice app and have it read her.
Oh, my God.
Whatever. Stacy Keebler, her and Tori had a eggnog fight. Just a minute here.
Okay.
Looks my page.
Then he
I
looks
decided
completely depressed over there.
Take something from down below.
Mind your own business.
They're like,
Ray Kinsella builds a baseball field
Field
on
of
his
Dreams. Kevin Costner.
baseball.
James Earl Jones.
If you build it, they will come.
Iowa.
Oh, all right.
You didn't let me finish the question, Brian.
She's right.
Oh, she yells at me. Hey, nerds, listen. Okay? You know what's funny about this whole benched thing? If you actually listen to the show, Tom, you would realize that I do know that there's a difference between being on the bench and being benched. Because I actually explained this correctly. And Dom would back me up if he wasn't being a gimmick. I actually explained this correctly a couple of days ago. Okay? There is being on the bench and there's being benched. They are two different things. Okay? I talked about this a few days ago. But here's the thing, though, okay, with Britt Baker. We actually don't know if she's on the bench or benched. We have no idea. We also have no idea about a lot of different people. Is Keith Lee on the bench or is he benched? I don't know. These are the questions that we need answered. Right?
Well, Brian, regardless, if you are a featured talent on television repeatedly over time, and then all of a sudden you are just gone regardless for a long time, for 6 months, for a year, 2 years, you're benched.
Sure.
That's the qualifier. Is if you are previously like a star and then you
exactly.
disappear.
This is exactly what I said
injured.
about Tonga. When people go, Tonga's been benched. It's like the guy didn't even debut. He got signed, and then he sat on the bench waiting for them to plug him into the storyline, which they eventually did. Being benched would be, what's his name? Poor Dexter Loomis. When that guy had that match with Motor City Machine Guns, and it was just the most horrible match ever, and he botched every spot, and he started dropping F-bombs on the air. If he then was taken off television, that guy got benched. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So we don't know what happened with Britt Baker. Is she on the bench, or did she get benched? And Keith Lee, and countless others. And apparently, and this was my fault, what's his name?
What?
Pete Dunne and...
No, what did you just say?
I said it's
A
my
second
fault.
ago? Whoa.
I always say this, you idiot. What's the other fella? Pete Dunne, his other fella?
Tyler Bate.
Tyler Bate, yeah. So I mentioned that they were injured, and apparently Tyler Bate actually came back from injury, but then disappeared. He had torn his pec. So he's not out due to injury. Now we just don't know why he's out. Is he benched, or is he on the bench? That's the question. Just like old Tonga. Okay. What the heck is the point of all of this? Should we talk about NXT?
You were trying to prove that you're not a bonehead.
I'm not an idiot. I may play an idiot on the show sometimes, but I'm not an idiot. Now, Scott Stanford. God bless the guy. I don't mean to, like, I don't want to make fun of anybody. I hate when people get released, but like when I found out today that he was released, I was like, was he hired? Apparently Scott Stanford has been with WWE since 2009. Do you guys know who Scott Stanford is? Does anybody?
He's
apparently he does
stuff.
Dude, never on television. We never saw this guy on television. Apparently he did This Week in WWE on Peacock and the WWE Network.
Yeah, he's like an inset guy.
I guess. He and Megan Morant
he'd
were
be
the hosts
standing there,
of...
and there's a TV screen next to him.
Yeah. I thought that he'd been
he's
gone...
not even looking at it.
I thought he'd been gone for years. Apparently he'd been around until, like, today. So, sucks. I don't like to see anybody released, but I was certainly surprised to see that message. SmackDown and Raw did terrible because it was the 4th of July. I don't think we need to talk anymore about that. Although, to be fair, SmackDown doing a .32 and 18-49 and 1.2 million viewers, I was actually astounded. That's on the 4th of July. Who is sitting at home at 8 o'clock on the 4th of July watching wrestling? God. Virtually the entire SmackDown audience did. Astonishing. Astonishing.
They probably watched and then went out and celebrated because it was only 2 hours.
This guy goes, was Scott Stanford on the bench or bench? Neither. Apparently he was working the entire time. We just never saw it.
He was standing.
He was on the internet doing stuff. All right, I'm going to do a very quick NXT report so we can get into the filthies. You have the filthies ready after the break?
Yeah.
Okay. This show was just boring. It was...
Whoa. Hey, we still have a half hour to go.
How long are the filthies going to take? Well, should we do them now and then do the NXT report later?
I thought you were talking about our show.
What are you talking about, dude?
When you said this show is boring.
Get out of here, you idiot. So Ricky Saints had to run the gauntlet against Brad Baylor, Ricky Smokes, and the Evolved champion Jackson Drake. And I think the idea of getting these guys on the show is to compel you to watch Evolve, but this did not work. Like, nothing against the three guys, but they're just three green, young wrestlers who had short average matches with Ricky Starks and or Ricky Saints or whatever. I got them both on my notes. And then Ricky won. I mean, just nothing to it.
Ricky Saints went marching in right through the Vanity Project.
I can't believe you. We have 4 minutes to do this review, and you had to get a Ricky Saints comes marching in joke in.
What I will say about them is that they wrestle exactly like how you would expect WWE ID guys to wrestle, which, hey, if that's what you want, great. But, not my flavor.
It was painfully boring. Then we had a goofy segment where Blake has no interest in training or working out. She just wants to get made up. And so, she's a babyface. And she drags Jordan to get made up, and then they bond. It was so wacky. And it did not get me any more interested in the match than I was. It made me less interested somehow.
What is the match? This is for Jordan's match?
It's a tag
for the
match.
Title?
When? No, they're doing a tag match on Great American Bash. And then Jordan's getting a singles match on the next show.
Okay.
If I recall correctly.
Evolution.
And yeah, I mean, Blake she's Tiffany Stratton. Pretty blonde, likes to get made up, doesn't care about wrestling.
She's turning ASAP.
I mean, at some point soon, yes.
Jordan's winning that belt, and she's turning immediately. She's got to.
We had Charlie Dempsey and Tavion with Tavion's future in the No Quarter Catch crew on the line. And his foot fell in between the steps and the post. Charlie stomped on it, put him in a hold, and Ren Sinclair, she could take no more. She threw in the towel. And so now Tavion is trapped in the No Quarter Catch crew for the rest of his life. It's rough. Mike Santana and Joe Hendry beat High Rise. And then Trick ran down, wiped out Santana. Hendry made the save. Wesley super kicked him. The heel stomped him down. Just a heat angle. It was fine. Honestly, the NXT guys were, I think, the most over guys on the show. Then we had Obafemi and Inamura out for a talkie talk. And I'm pretty sure that everybody in the crowd has decided that Josh Briggs is turning on Inamura at the pay-per-view because Briggs is supposed to be like Inamura's best friend. They love Inamura, but every time Briggs grabs a mic, they are booing this guy out of the building. And a brawl breaks out. Geeks run down, break it up, and I think those fans are probably right. But did they have to spoil it for me? Kalani beat Laney Reed. It was just there. And then Thea Hale went after Laney.
What?
I mean, it was just there. There was nothing special about it.
Can anyone in their right mind explain to me what went on with this Kalani Jordan heel turn?
She's just a babyface again.
The subsequent Sol Ruka and Zarya babyface turn, and then Zarya was going to turn on her to get the title shot, but that never even came close to happening. What in the world? Hey, congratulations to Carmelo Hayes and Kalani Jordan.
Yeah, congratulations to them. They got engaged this weekend. We got a family drama video package with Stax. Rizzo is just back. I mean,
and she's running the show.
Yeah, she's just back and running the show. And they had the funniest line I've ever heard in NXT, where she says, "Tony, Stax, you guys created a legacy. You brought in me and Luca. All those good times in the restaurant, taking people to the bridge, to the wood shop, the championships, the family." I was crying. Taking people to the bridge and the wood shop? She's reminiscing about throwing dudes off the bridge to their death and putting them in wood chippers. Right in the middle of, the restaurant and winning belts and the wood chipper. I was freaking dying. To the point I almost dropped an F-bomb. And they're having a final battle next week. A three-way on NXT television. That was amazing.
What? Are they just going to get back together? Because that's what I want to see after this segment.
I maybe.
Why not?
Because they're floundering.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the Acclaimed. Actually, no, the Acclaimed is in a much worse place. But they're basically the Acclaimed. Just like, it's exactly like Chase U. They split them up and there's no point. They're all floundering.
Are the best stable alive.
We had Hank and Tank versus the Culling for the tag titles. This had a classic Vic Joseph moment as a bunch of people start interfering, and then Sol Ruka attacks Izzy for trying to interfere, and then Zarya shows up and kidnaps Tatum. And Vic Joseph actually says, "She once considered Tatum a friend." I was like, Vic, I try so hard to like you, but like, screw you, dude. What are you talking about? Zarya hated Tatum from day one. For every second they were on screen together, she hated her. Soul was like sympathetic. Zarya hated her. Anyway, Hank and Tank are bleeding and they pin Spears. The Culling is secretly a babyface faction. Have you noticed that?
What?
Yeah, more after the break. Observer Live. Check out this free video and make sure you hit like and subscribe.
If Truth didn't have the best weekend in this company, then Mr. Iguana did.
Oh, yeah, this guy is over, dude.
We'll get to him in the Worlds Collide review, but
He's got merch up on WWE shop.
he's gonna make so much.
He's got these
money.
kids that want to see more Mr. Iguana.
Yeah. So
His face paint is so funny.
I must stop you right here. It's not face
Oh,
paint.
would you stop?
It's head paint.
Yeah, it
He
looks.
paints his whole damn head.
It looks like he's like he gets held upside down and they just dunk
Dip
his
it,
head
yes.
in green paint.
Yes.
It's absolutely bizarre.
And when he's not wrestling, he wears the round silver spectacles,
Yes,
and
he
flicks his
puppet.
tongue constantly,
Yes.
as an iguana would, and Del Toro and Octagon do whatever, and people are patient, but they don't care. And then Iguana tags in, and they are hyped. It took about 7 seconds to make himself my favorite luchador. He starts, I forget who he's in there with, but the guy offers a handshake, and so he licks it because he's an iguana, and then he gets hit with a shoulder tackle, or it's a chop. He takes a chop, he drops to his back, he sticks all four limbs straight in the air.
Yes.
He's playing dead like an iguana would. So then he brings in the puppet. I didn't get the puppet's name. I should have used it 50 times. But it's an iguana puppet that he thinks is real. Well,
already
sometimes.
Already up on WWE shop.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
You know if Harley Cameron's doll is on the AEW?
I do not know.
It's not.
Okay.
It's not.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
So he starts doing spots with the puppet in his mouth. He lets the puppet try to get the pin. And amidst all the silliness, Conan says, you know this Mr. Iguana, he's most popular with children.
I liked how as soon as the puppet started doing spots, Corey Graves goes, is that legal in Mexico? And without skipping a beat, Conan goes, yes.
Low on the list of things you will see in a Lucha Libre match, especially in AAA. So he starts using the puppet more as a weapon, or as a distraction, I should say. But it ends up with Lindsay Dorado getting a hold of this puppet, and he snaps, and he stomps the puppet, and he grabs the puppet, and he Spanish flies the puppet. This crowd is outraged. They're pissed. They're furious. But you know he's even more pissed and furious?
It got more heat than anything else. Maybe on the entire show,
Mr.
actually.
Goddamn Iguana.
They were
who's
furious.
seething, and his eyes are breaking out, and he snaps and just rips ass. He grabs his own lizard and is whipping these guys with it. And then they remember it's just a puppet, and they stop selling.
This was a very, very fun match. Liked it a lot. And there's a lot to learn here about marketing.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of headlines about AI. I don't think we have anything to worry about. So Spotify, apparently AI makes, they generate chapters when you download our shows on Spotify. And this chapter here is titled Sami Zayn versus Scarlett Johansson. Golly, I'd like to see that feud. Now, my theory about the culling. Okay, if you watch this show every week, forget who they feud with or anything like that. How are they heels? Okay? Sean Spears has created this group. Every speech he gives is, it's not about me. I'm just here to help you guys. I'm here to elevate your careers. I'm here to support you in every way. They bring in Izzy Dame. Izzy Dame, she finds this Tatum Paxley who's being bullied by Solrook and Zarya every week.
Well, first they took out one of their own members.
He was a virgin.
That's a
All-
disqualifier.
All
It's
Tatum
not.
wants.
It's not. God, I want to say it, but I cannot say it
All
on air.
Tatum wanted was friends.
Oh.
Do you understand? She just wanted friends. And what happened? The Soul and Zarya just bully her and belittle her and make fun of her for playing with dolls. Who accepts her? Izzy, unconditionally. And she brings her into the culling, and they bring her in, and they give her a home, and they support her, and they befriend her. And then during this match, poor Nico, the driver, he's dispensable. He's just the driver. Well, he's in the ring, and these two maniacs, they go for their honk spot. They're going to run him over. They're going to run over the driver like two freight trains. Well, what happens? Spears leaps in, shoves the driver out of the way, takes the bullet, and then he ends up getting pinned. Please explain to me how this is a heel group. Please. Exactly. Apparently the V word is a bannable word on Twitch. Well, that's his character. What do you want me to do?
Well, thank God I didn't.
What do
say
you
I
want me to
wanted
do?
to.
And then, by the way, here's another one. All night long, this Jasper Troy has been beating up Javon Evans. He's beating him up in like 8 segments. Where the heck is Ava? I don't know what she does in storyline on this show.
She was walking around with Robert Stone and
Apparently not.
that
So
other.
she
was, they
saunters
showed her.
out. At the end of the show, she's all sauntering out, and she gives the most overdramatic cornball speech about the Evolution show. Like every buzzword you've ever heard. It was so fake. And then, all of the women come out and they talk, and it's hideous. I mean, I don't care how big a fan you are of women's wrestling. This segment was hideous. And then they have a brawl, and Ava vanishes. Because anytime there's trouble, Ava she just has to go do something else.
Well, what is she gonna do? There's
Tell him to
20 women
stop!
out there.
God. This show sucked. All right, let's do the filthies.
Wow, we have quite a few awards. How much time do we have? About 10 minutes?
Yeah, we got plenty of time.
All right. So,
10 minutes.
10 minutes. So, I would like to start off by doing something I don't normally like to do, Brian, and that is...
Stall for time?
No, not at all. For the first award, some think this is the most important of them all, the Wrestler of the Year. I think I'm going to agree with Dave Meltzer and say that Mystico
Wow.
has been the Wrestler of the Year. CMLL doing great. Mystico all over the New Japan shows in the USA, all over the MLW shows. Probably the most over guy at every single show I've been on when he's there.
I think that's it's good to pick as any.
Yes.
I mean, who else is there? The closest...
Hangman, Goto.
Hangman?
Yeah.
It'd be Moxley. He's the champion.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
Oh. Well, I mean, he is a top guy in the promotion, and they actually have been significantly better over the last 6 months. So, I mean, you could make an argument, but I think Mystico's your best pick.
The MMA MVP, a pick I'm sure some will argue with. My pick for MMA MVP, still running the heavyweight division from afar without even fighting in years. Still the most important name in the sport, John Jones. I mean, does anyone care about the heavyweight division if he leaves?
Well, he hasn't been around, so do they care now when he's not there?
No, they don't.
Okay, well, then he ain't the fighter of the year, brother.
That's even more proof because he hasn't fought. The most outstanding wrestler, I'm going to go with Will Ospreay.
Oh, there's a million picks here, but sure.
Well, when I think of, like, outstanding, who do I think that's doing just insane stuff all the time? Every time I watch him, has a fantastic match.
Well,
Will
him
Ospreay.
and, I mean, he's not as outstanding as far as, like, doing flashy stuff, but, like, Ishii It's impossible for him to have anything less than an awesome match.
Yeah, there's other Obafemi.
No, come on.
To me, he's outstanding. He's so impressive.
Well, he's most improved or most impressive. I mean, those are.
Oh, you know what, Brian? Now that you say that, actually, we might as well just get to it because it is down later on the list. Most improved Obafemi. And
I'll
not
take
like
it.
I thought he was bad before, but I think he's damn good now.
Well, when he first debuted in that tournament, I thought that he was all right, but I thought Tavion was a million times better. Now we are a year and a half or whatever later, and like Obafemi has lapped this guy. He's ready for the main roster now. Has been for a while.
Yeah, and to be a main player on the main roster immediately. The most outstanding fighter of the year, Ilya Topuria. Easy. The UFC 155-pound champion defeated. Think about this run. KO'd Volkanovski, Max Holloway, Charles Oliveira in succession. Fantastic fighter. Perhaps one of the best we've ever seen. Tag team of the year. This is a tough one. Just because, like Hurt Syndicate is the most powerful tag team of the year. But I can't say that
Young
that's what I look
Bucks.
forward to seeing. My tag team of the year, Brian, is Fraxium.
I would have given Fraxium the award last year, and I would give Young Bucks the award this year. Somehow Young Bucks won last year when Fraxium should have won. So I'll switch it. And yes, FTR should also be in the running.
Best on interviews could be Tony Storm, but my pick, because this is the person when I think about it, this is who I remember the most. What they've said, they made me believe the most. That is Naomi.
God,
I think she's been the best on interviews.
I enjoy her interviews a lot. She is not the best promo in wrestling, but she is
This year?
She's had the best lines, but not the best promos.
I disagree.
Okay, that's fine.
Promotion of the year, UFC. I mean, record profits. No matter what kind of slop they put out there in front of you, they're bringing home the money every single time. Sellout after sellout after sellout. So the UFC Ultimate Fighting Championship. The best weekly TV show, Brian. Did you realize?
Better
did
be
you know,
NXT.
I am a former winner of this category.
That's true.
The Ultimate Fighter Season 8 was a winner of this category. So I didn't realize until yesterday when I was doing the research, but I am a Wrestling Observer Award winner.
Wow. I'm a 2-time award winner, thanks.
Ever since the move to Max, I got to say, AEW Dynamite, fantastic. No matter how many people walk through that ticket counter, no matter how many people are in the building, the show is great virtually every week. So
I
I'm gonna
would
go with
I would
Dynamite.
agree with the Dynamite. Which show do I love the most on certain weeks? That would be NXT. But as far as like the best show, it would be Dynamite, and I think Raw actually would be second. Raw on Netflix in 2.5 hours. I don't know what it is, dude. Like it's good far more than it's bad. SmackDown has sucked the entire year. That better win worst show.
Match of the year. To me,
I'm not going to start. There've been about 80.
comes down to two matches from the same show, Hangman and Ospreay, or my pick, because it was stood out to me the most. I remembered it more, and that is Anarchy in the Arena. The MMA Fight of the Year from the last ever branded PFL Bellator show, the PFL-ator. Usman Nurmagomedov versus Big News Paul Hughes.
Big news, Paul Hughes.
Fantastic high-level fight between two young fighters. Back and forth. Nurmagomedov got the decision, but A lot of people are looking forward to this rematch. I can't wait to see it. And if you haven't seen it, you should check it out. Feud of the year, Tiffany and Charlotte.
God.
Well, who seemed like they hated each other the most? That's what I want to see.
I guess.
The best technical wrestler. Dethroning his mentor, Zack Sabre Jr. has won this award many times. Kosei Fujita.
Really?
Yeah. Best brawler, Jon Moxley. Best flyer, I'm going to go with somebody who never misses. Perfection. Absolutely every single time they fly. That is the genius of the sky, Io Sky.
Interesting.
Most overrated, Will Ospreay.
Wow. You gave him Wrestler of the Year, or
Most outstanding,
and what was the other one?
Most overrated.
Most overrated. Wow.
Every time you're expecting a match of the year, every single time, and I'm over it. The most underrated, I was thinking about this. You got like indie stars like Alec Price. You got TNA champion Masha Slamovich. I think she's great. She should be everywhere. She is everywhere. Miyu Yamashita, another person I've seen every time deliver. But my favorite, who I think is the most underrated, if you watch CMLL, it's the 48-year-old Rudo Averno.
Really?
Who's out? Yeah, this guy
are we
is
talking?
basing,
Are we talking under pushed? Or are we talking like under? Well, what does even underrated mean?
Well,
Because
if you
underrated
saw
in the
Averno, you'd
Observer
be like-
Awards always means under
you'd be-
push, which would mean Javon Evans. By far.
Yeah, but you rate him highly.
Yeah.
You never hear anybody talking about Averno. And the best non-wrestler, the final award. This one was easy, a landslide. Are you kidding me? None other than NXT's own Ava.
That's worse non-wrestler.
Who else could give The Rock advice on what to say when he was flustered and nervous?
That's true.
She makes decision after decision after decision and takes credit for it, even when others gave her the idea.
All right,
That's
we
what
got to go to
true
a
leader
break.
does.
I've had enough. Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Jared, put old Granny on. Let's see what she's up to. Oh, man, she's doing something. Oh, Lord.
She's trying to plug in the box, Brian.
Granny can't connect. And so I call her on the phone, and she alerts us that she apparently knocked the box off her desk. Whatever's happening right there, that doesn't look good. She knocked down the camera now? What's going on?
She's got a hold of the camera, I think.
She's okay. Well, we've got the ceiling at least. There's the box. Hey, we got the box, Jared. Does it look like it's plugged in?
No.
It's definitely not on.
No.
Okay. That's her back, I believe. She appears to be doing something.
Apparently yoga.
That's her hair. Are we sure that's not Ric Flair? Now she's got to find the phone, too.
Think anyone's going to still subscribe after the show?
I hope we get a bunch of video signups. This is interesting.
Is it now?
Oh, man, we can almost see the front of the tie line to see if it's on. But we can't. We can only see the side of it, as well as a flashlight and dice. I don't know why there are dice there.
Well, you never know when you're going to play dice in the dark.
She's still doing something.
That's good radio, boss.
Show that again, what's she doing?
You know what's a good show is the Big VV show.
Is it?
Or reviewed Polar Mania 2025.
She might be tying her shoe or something.
Ed and
down
San
there.
Antonio show.
Granny is furiously doing something. It's possible that we should sabotage the box every week.
No!
So that she can, get up and down, like Roddy Piper once said. No, I know. I'm calling you. Phone. I'm calling you. Oh, my God. How are you?
I'm exhausted. Oh, I want to tell Vinny I watched his show today.
Thank you, Granny. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good.
Good. That sounded very sincere.
Stunning review. Well, can we please make that into a commercial, Jared, for Vinny's show? Apple Podcast carries every podcast that we produce.
Oh, I want to tell Vinny I watched his show today.
Thank you, Granny. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good.
Good.
So check it out, f4wonline.com/Apple. Try your free trial today. What is happening here? Yes, Granny?
I don't care if it's show or what. My computer went out and I can't fix it.
Okay. Jared, can you fix Granny's computer?
He tried to get a pin.
I am Steve.
Brian, what are you doing?
Now my child is sending me a voice message.
Steel chicken jockey.
Well, some people are asking, yes, there will be an After Dark radio here today. 2 Pacific, 5 Eastern, here on Sports Byline Broadcasting Network, as well as twitch.tv/F4W video and video.f4wonline.com. So however you are watching or listening to this program, you're going to be able to listen to After Dark this afternoon as well. That's going to be a lot of fun.
What signal in the other dimensions does that play on?
On the other dimensions, I don't know. But today we'll have Robert Baer. He is the vice president, co-founder of Spiritual Awakenings International. Past vice president, former board member of IANDS, the International Association for Near-Death Studies. Attended West Valley College, San Jose State, University of California, Santa Cruz, and the University of San Francisco. We're going to be talking about near-death experiences, Tom.
Wow.
Today
Speaking
on After Dark Radio.
Speaking of near-death experiences, breaking news. I see on Twitter, AJ and Big Justice and the Rizzler have arrived in Texas with one goal, and that is to take down, I can't even say it without laughing, the Don Callis family.
What? The Riz is going to take out the Don Callis family? Wow. Boom! I'm going to wrap it up, everybody. That was a fun time. I'll see you in an hour. After Dark Radio, Sports Byline, Broadcasting Network.